guy that was traded with Javier Baez from the Mets to the Cubs, also Trevor Williams, number 19th pick in 2020, probably is the best prospect in the Cubs organization, I don't think without a doubt. People know him. What makes him so special as a prospect?
Oh man.
Pick one.
What? Yeah, I mean, what doesn't make PCA special? It kind of similar to Brennan. They're very much of the same in how they go about their business, Michael. Because Pete, you would never have guessed that he was a 20-year-old kid because of how he understands who he is. Because he grew up idolizing Javi Baez, and Pete will tell you that he grew up trying to model his game sometimes, especially defensively, off of Javi Baez, and then next thing you know, you're getting traded for him. And at the time, Pete had only played a handful of games professionally. I think he played 6 or 7 games with the Mets, and that was it. And then he was traded after being a first-round pick by the Mets. And he's super, super down to earth, where he just gets it. I mean, there was no animosity from him towards the Mets. He always has said he's thankful for what the Mets did to him from a draft perspective, giving him the opportunity to be a professional. But now he's a Cub, and I think it's really exciting for Pete, being from around Chavez Ravine, growing up in California. He was a diehard Cubs fan, though, because of his dad. Both of his parents are actors. His mom actually is in one of my favorite ever Tom Cruise movies, so it was cool to meet her.
Which one?
Pete's got that star power too. And for PCA, getting to learn now, because growing up around LA, when Pete was in high school, Cody Bellinger was winning an MVP, and now Cody Bellinger is in spring training with Pete, and Pete gets the opportunity to learn from Cody Bellinger, which must be just an awesome experience. So. No, Michael, he's got the 5 tools, man. I've said it on record. I've said it on air. I'll say it to you now. He's the best player I've ever seen.
Wow.
In a team that I've covered. I've never been around a more talented player in whatever league I've been in. I've had a chance to broadcast now in 4 different leagues. I've never met a player like PCA. I love him as a guy. I love him as a player, and I think his future is so bright. But also, it's nice that he can take this time really to groom himself, because this year he's going to go to Double-A. There should be no pressure for him to try and silence doubters, I guess, because, look, I mean, he's still only 20. He should have a whole year at Double-A. And it's going to take a little bit of time before he's up. But once he is up, I think it's going to be nice that he had an entire year at Single A. He's probably going to have an entire year at Double-A. Whether or not he has a full year at Iowa, that's to be seen. But I'm glad he's going to get a full Double-A season, because that's really where prospects are made and prospects are built. Because, as the old adage goes, if you can hit at Double-A, you're probably going to be a pretty good big leaguer. So this is a big year for Pete. I'm glad he gets to focus on it.
And you look at how he's 20, but you look at his Wikipedia page, he's already done everything. He was the Los Angeles Times Player of the Year. He was 2019, he was the Under Armour All-American Baseball Game. He's been to Vanderbilt. He's been in the spring training for the Cubs. They picked him to go, and he batted .312 last season. What goes somewhat unheard, I think, is his defense. He played 800 innings there. He was announced as a Gold Glove Award for basically minor league baseball. Can you speak about that?
Yeah. He made a couple catches last year where I kind of had to do one of those things, like you take your glasses off and you wipe the fog away, and you're like, did he just catch that? And the answer is yes. I mean, he makes plays in center look routine that shouldn't be routine. A couple catches that stand out in Beloit last year. There was just an incredible play where he was playing literal right center. He was playing right center field, and a ball was hit to the warning track in left center. And this is a big ballpark in Beloit, especially in left center. That's the deepest part of the wall there. Pete starts in right center, sprints all the way to dead left center. Like, he probably covered a good 200 feet.
Wow.
I mean, and he made a sliding catch on the warning track. And it was the greatest catch I've ever seen. I don't know how he made the play. He wound up on the top 10 Sports Center, which was cool. But yeah, I mean, that's what I talk about, Michael, with the 5-tool guy. I mean, there's not a part of his game to me that's a weak spot. He runs the bases brilliantly. He's very smart. He can hit for power. He hits to contact, obviously. And then his glove might be the best part of his game. But he's also just he has a great understanding of who he is and what he's going to be, but he doesn't have a big head, which is what I really respect about him.
And we just told you, and you told us so many good things about PCA. What do you think? 2024 he'll be in Wrigley, or is it sooner than that? You think?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't want to put a number on it because I think that this year is such a big year for him, and every prospect's a little bit different. You know, he might go to Tennessee this year and just blow the doors off, and then they might be like, hey, you know, why not? Or, you know, things might go a little bit slower. So, from what I read at least, like you said, I think most experts write 24, but you know, I think for Pete, whenever he gets there is whenever he gets there. I don't think he should feel any pressure because the Cubs really did him a solid with bringing in Bellinger. Because let's say Cody Bellinger gets back to not MVP form, but let's say he gets back to All-Star form this year at least. Yeah. And the Cubs make a run for the wild card, let's say. You know, Cody Bellinger, he would then be a pretty hot commodity, and the Cubs have. So I think that'd be a really fun bridge. Let's say Cody Bellinger gets back on track. You're like, okay, Cody, you know, do what you can do for us, and then whenever you want to move down the road, Pete's ready. I think that would be an unreal move if the Cubs can go straight from Bellinger to PCA, but we'll see.